I'm really sorry, but I still don't feel well, so my voice is going to crack and give out, and I'm very sorry, but I just didn't want to take a longer break from BookTube because I missed you guys. Hello Book Dragons, it's Alyssa and you're watching Pages in Ink. Some of you may have seen the first video that I ever posted on my channel, and that is the BookTube newbie tag. I didn't know that there was also a new To Booktube tag, and since technically I started my channel less than 2 months ago, I'm still new to BookTube, so I thought I would do that tag today. And I am joined by Potter. She's sitting next to me, so if you hear whining, she's whining at the cats. So question number 1, where are you joining us from? I hail from the Pacific Northwest near the Puget Sound, where I live with my fiance, my cats, my dogs, our old lady. Question number 2 is, how old are you? Don't you know you're not supposed to ask a lady how old they are? I am 31 years old, but feel free to post in the comments how there's no way that I could be 31 and help boost this booktuber's self-esteem. Question number 3 is, why did you join BookTube? I like to read, and I don't have a lot of people in my life that love to read the same things that I love to read. I tend to talk into the void anyway when I'm ranting or raving about a book. Just drinking water. So everyone feel bad for Megan because she's had to spend years of her life listening to me talk about books. And it was a place that I could just let my nerd side free. So the next question, number 4, what is the meaning behind your channel name if it's something other than your name? So it is something other than my name. It just kind of came to me. I feel like it wasn't anything special. Books are just made of pages and ink. And so when I looked it up on YouTube, I saw that there wasn't really anyone by that name, so I took it. Question number 5, what types of books do you read / want to talk about here? I love fantasy, young adult and adult. I'm getting into young adult fantasy. I haven't read any of the major popular ones. I'm just starting to read those. I also love historical fiction and nonfiction. I also like literary fiction. I'm trying to get more into contemporary because I just want to be a well-rounded reader, and I don't want to be put off by a good book just because it's not in a genre that I tend to go for. Number 6, who are your favorite authors? Hey folks, it's Editing Alyssa here. I realized for this question I blathered on and was put on the spot a little bit, and you know when you get put on the spot sometimes you forget your answers, or in my case your all-time favorite authors. So I thought I would just add them in now. So going through this list, I've either read the majority of their work, all of their work, or some of them I've only read a few things, but it's so good that I know I'm gonna read all their work. Starting from the top, Brandon Sanderson. I absolutely adore Neil Gaiman. I like Patrick Rothfuss. I'm getting into Terry Pratchett and love what I've read so far. For young adult, I love Leigh Bardugo. And then for middle grade, I'm into Rick Riordan and Gail Carson Levine. Number 7, what's the last book you read? So the last book that I read was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. All the feels. All the feels. Number 8 is, what are you currently reading? So right now I am actually currently reading the little novella that Holly Black wrote from Taryn's point of view, The Lost Sisters, in the Folk of Air Folk, the Cruel Prince series. Number 9, what do you use as bookmarks or for bookmarks? I've done this ever since I was a kid, but typically when I'm reading, I just remember what page I'm on, and then I go back to that page when I continue reading. Number 10 is, show us your current TBR pile. So this is my current TBR pile. I'm one of those people. Yes, I have a cart. Part of it is because I've always dreamt about having my own library, and I wanted a shelving cart so I could be my own librarian. Okay, so number 11 is 3 parts. Which do you prefer? Hardcover or paperback? Ebooks or physical books? Owning or borrowing books. So I'm gonna take this in parts, obviously. That was dumb. So which do I prefer, hardcover or paperback? I prefer paperback, hands down. Do I prefer ebooks or physical books? Physical books. And it's not because I'm one of those like book purists and I just love having the paper in my hands. It's because I can't really get into ebooks. I get headaches really easy, and I've tried all different kinds of special like e-readers, and it just I have a harder time, one, getting into them, and then also I tend to have a headache or they make me really tired, whereas reading a regular just plain old book doesn't do that to me. And then the third part of this question, owning or borrowing books. Both. I love the library. The library was my favorite place growing up. I will always love the library. I will always recommend going to the library. I also like to own books. I like to have a collection. I'm not going to be one of those people that has like 14 shelves full of 1,000 books and they've only read 30% of them. So question number 12, what book or series got you into reading? So I don't think this is going to come as a surprise to anyone that's watched any of my videos, but I grew up an avid reader. My family loved books or encouraged reading, but what really got me into fantasy and magic was Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. I'm going to date myself here, but I remember a time before Harry Potter was published. Now I'm like ancient to everyone on BookTube. So I know a lot of people would say like Harry Potter got them into fantasy, but I had to have a time before that. So that's why Ella Enchanted is like my Harry Potter. I grew up in a very monitored household. Magic was evil and I wasn't allowed to read or watch anything that made magic look good. I was allowed to watch Disney because magic had consequences, and for the most part the people that were really using magic were the bad guys, and so my mom was okay with me watching that. I borrowed Ella Enchanted from a teacher when I was in 4th grade, and it opened up a whole new world for me, a world of magic and whimsy and wonder and adventure and the different races like ogres and elves and dwarves, and it literally like blew, I couldn't have literally, and it blew my mind. So from that moment on, I was about 8 or 9 years old, I would read fantasy books in secret without telling my mom. If she's watching this video, hi mom. Number 13, how did you discover BookTube? I discovered BookTube because I think I was just looking for a review on a book. Question number 14, what challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? I think for me, I mentioned it in, I think, my BookTube newbie tag video. I'm an introvert. So for me, it's not necessarily like keeping up with the channel or anything like that. It's putting myself out there, which means I also have a hard time on social media. I do have a Twitter account and I do have an Instagram and I do have a Goodreads, which I always link below, but I have a hard time posting. I don't think everyone needs to know all the thoughts going on in my head, so I'm just used to keeping to myself and being quiet. And number 15, oh, this is a perfect segue into number 15. Where else can we find you? So I said I have a Goodreads account, an Instagram, and a Twitter, and I always post that in the description box down below. But for Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at Pages and Ink. So when I mentioned before that I say that I suck at social media, it's because I kind of suck at originally link posting. But if someone talks to me, I'm like, yes! Someone's talking to me, let's have a conversation. So please, if you want to reach out to me, do that. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to chat with you about books. I'm also looking to see if anyone wants to buddy read any books this year, so let me know, again, at Pages and Ink. So that's it for this tag video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, and if you want to join the Book Dragon family, we'd love to have you. Hit the subscription button down below, and then don't forget to hit that notification bell, which lets you know when my dorky self uploads any video. And as always, until until next time, remember to be nice to yourself and be kind to others.